accurate solutions every time. Okay, consistency, sir. Avinash ji.
Customer satisfaction beyond his expectations consistently.
Okay, satisfying him beyond his expectations consistently. Good definition. Sir, बताइए.
Building bonds, being his binding partner of reliability.
Building bonds and
Being his partner, binding partner of reliability.
is what partner?
We only make one.
Okay, winding partner. Okay. So you're specific to your business. So fine, being a winding partner of reliability. So there is reliability and there is bonds, emotional bonds. Okay.
Provide an 24/7 approachable and customer-centric environment.
24/7 customer approachable and
Customer-centric.
okay. So 2 o'clock at night. That's what you've written. So I'm asking you, are you prepared for that? Yes, Abhishek.
Clear communication and timely delivery of service and support.
Clear communication and timely delivery of support. Sheetal? Justifying? Satisfying his need till he is in the system. Okay, so timeliness seems to be both of you are aligned to timeliness. Okay, that's good. Krunal?
Providing the right equipment we need and providing the support for that transfer.
Wow, 24/7 seems to be also in alignment. That's good. No, I'm happy that you started getting that alignment. See, it doesn't matter. You have to define it for your business. There is no right definition. There is no wrong definition. There is no ultimate definition of customer service. There is nothing like that. Because we are all human beings. And believe me, whatever you have defined, you will still have dissatisfied customers because they say, no, I expect something better than this from Alligator. Sir?
Satisfied customer is the link for you.
A customer, okay, so that's a definition of a satisfied customer. So what you're saying is therefore customer satisfaction is creating a situation which allows him to refer me. Great. Yes, please.
Give solutions and convert action in minimum time.
Okay, so there is accuracy, you're talking of reliability. Okay, Nija?
Customer satisfaction. Understand his need, give the solution to his need.
Okay, understand his need, give the solution to his need. Sir, Parekh ji.
A service which is delivered for satisfaction to re-interact with the customer for better relation.
और एक बार पढ़िए.
A service which is delivered for the satisfaction and to re-interact with the customer for better relation.
Okay, so there's a stronger relationship building happening and there is a need satisfaction. Okay, fair enough. Sir.
Be interactive, be proactive.
Okay, so be responsive. Okay, so proactive. What does proactive mean?
Proactive means if you work on several sectors, there is some kind of solution or service or product which is being coming up, which customer is not aware of, or customer is going for something which is out of date. Then we need to be proactive to not get the knowledge of make him aware that whatever his investment is going on, he might do the same investment in better product. It's a proactive solution.
Proactiveness also means to say, can I predict the fact that he will face this problem and handle that problem before it happens?
In terms of service, yes, be proactive to ask them instead of keep coming and complaining.
Exactly. That's the point. That can I keep in touch with him and engage with him and say, क्या हो रहा है? कोई प्रॉब्लम है? नहीं, ये गलत सवाल है. कोई प्रॉब्लम है पूछेंगे तो बहुत कुछ बता देगा. To be able to know his business, to be able to understand what is he doing in his business, and therefore be able to say, oh, you know what, I think this machine is going to crash in the next 10 days because of what he's doing. Let me put things in place. Possible, right? Yes, sir.
We pledge to serve you the best of us.
We pledge to serve you according to the best of our abilities, okay?
we focus on consistently delighting our customers with our value-added product.
Okay, wow, that's a very comprehensive definition. But you've gone beyond customer satisfaction and you said, I want to create customer delight, and that is a bit of a dangerous area, and I'll tell you why later on. Right, sir?
Supplying products in line with the requirement of customer, consistently over time, within this time.
Absolutely correct. I would like you to open your books on page 9. There's a book called The Customer Service Manager, and these are quotes from that book. All three of these definitions have three different aspects. The first one is talking of saying, my product or service does what it is supposed to do. I buy a pressure cooker, it is supposed to cook under pressure. If it doesn't do that, I am not satisfied. It's as simple as that. एकदम सिंपल घरेलू एग्जाम्पल लीजिए ना, तो क्लियर है कि ये सेटिस्फैक्शन है, राइट? अब प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मैं उसके अंदर में चावल रखूं, बटाटा रखूं और एक्सपेक्ट ये करूं कि जब मैं खोलूंगा तो अपने आप बिरयानी बन के निकलेगा, तो अतुल साहब मैं डिलाइटेड हो जाऊंगा, मगर वो होगा नहीं, क्योंकि वो प्रेशर कुकर सिर्फ प्रेशर कुक करेगा. So what can I do to go beyond that satisfaction? So that's my first question, right? That's the first proposition over there. The product does what it is supposed to do. The second is about empathy. If I was a customer of my own product and this was what he was saying and facing, how would I like to be treated? So this is about the courtesy, this is about the timeliness, this is about the friendliness. These are about the efficiency of the process. And the last one is about the S in the guest. Because then you're saying, how do I help him maximize total value of this particular product? You guys have a product where you have, I'm sure, a base pack, right? And most often than not, these guys, does everybody know what their business is, right? Okay, so these guys come in with a base pack. Now the base pack is actually the base pack. It really does very little. So I am actually intentionally creating a certain amount of what I call favorable dissatisfaction, because it allows me to go back and say proactively. If you're waiting for him to call up and complain, then it becomes complaint handling and is not customer satisfaction anymore. It is not customer satisfaction anymore. So I proactively, I have sold him the base pack because uska budgetary constraints hoga, dimagi constraints hoga, etc., etc. So I have gone and sold him the base pack. And then I use this as an opportunity to go back the next day and say, so is this doing well? Is your business handling this well? You know what, however, if you really want to take value out of this product, here's this nice little thing on top. And here's this further little license. All of this has a cost, but it also has a benefit. And it will really delight your customers. Because you see, the problem with the B2B business is that somewhere there is always an end customer who has got forgotten. आप यदि आपके बिजनेस के कस्टमर को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए, राइट, यानी आपके कस्टमर के कस्टमर को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए उसको प्रोडक्ट दे रहे हैं, तो वो आपसे ज्यादा खुश होगा ये कि आप उसको खुश करें. क्योंकि जब आप B2B2C वाले, वो वाले C के पास पहुंच गए हैं और वो C खुश हो रहा है, तो किसकी बिजनेस बढ़ रही है? आपके कस्टमर की बिजनेस बढ़ रही है. और आपने वो एनेबल किया. So one of the things that I always tell my B2B clients and all of you is that, do you understand who are your customers' customers? And do you know them? And do you know their needs? Do you understand what is it that they are looking for? Do you analyze those needs? Do you project those needs? Do you understand how their business processes are going to help their customers? How do you add value to those business processes that will create value for their customers and therefore increase their own business? And now my product is a tool for increasing business. It is no longer a product. It has moved away from being a product. It has become a business tool. Again, these are all mind shift changes. These are all mind shift changes because I started by saying, oh, my user buyer is my customer. True. Ultimately, he pays you. But he gets better satisfaction if his customer is better satisfied. So I change my focus and say, मैं वाइंडिंग करता हूँ, सही बात है, वो वाइंडिंग इसमें घुसता है, वो भी सही बात है, मगर वो यहाँ घुसने के बाद वो किसके पास जाता है और वो कैसे सेटिस्फाइड होता है, उसमें वो मेरा वाइंडिंग का कितना बड़ा रोल है. शायद मैं मेरे प्रोडक्ट में भी कोई चेंज नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बट अब मैं मेरे पिच में चेंज कर रहा हूँ, अब मेरे कन्वर्सेशन में चेंज कर रहा हूँ, अब मेरी एंगेजमेंट में चेंज कर रहा हूँ. अब मैं मेरे बारे में जो पर्सपेक्टिव मैंने क्रिएट किया था वो चेंज कर रहा हूँ. Because till now the perspective I had created is ये वाइंडिंग वाला आ गया, राइट? ये वाइंडिंग वाला वापस आ गया और क्या बोलेगा? हमारा इतना टाइट है ना, ये तो बोलेगा ना. तो मैं उसके बाहर जाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. आपका वाइंडिंग उतना ही टाइट रहेगा, मैं उसको चेंज नहीं करने की बात कर रहा हूँ. सवाल यह है कि उसके टाइट होने से उसको फायदा क्या, उसके फायदा इन टर्म्स ऑफ हिज कस्टमर. दैट इज द क्वेश्चन दैट वी नीड टू आस्क. वी टॉक्ड अबाउट लिसनिंग. We talked about listening, right? I'll give you a name. I'm not going to show you a video. I have a video, but I will not show it to you because it's not part of our so-called syllabus today. But you can Google him. He's a gentleman called Julian Treasure. Julian Treasure. And the name of the video that I would like you to listen is called 5 Ways to Improve Listening. 5 Ways to Improve Listening. It's a TED talk. You know TED, right? Most of you know TED. If you don't know TED, I honestly tell you, please subscribe to TED. There's a huge amount of material to supplement all that SIL is doing with you. There's a lot of learning material over there. Please go to TED, keep downloading, keep watching at least one video. 15 minute का investment है खुद के ऊपर. उसको please keep watching one of those videos. You don't even have to watch them. They're actually talks. You can just put them on an earphone while you're driving. You just have to listen, right? So they're beautiful talks, 15-minute, 20-minute talks. Your commute is possibly 15-20 minutes. That's good enough for you to take a quick learning break, for you to listen to something very interesting. And there's so much stuff over there which is really, really useful. So Julian Treasure talks about 5 ways of listening. I'm going to play a small video, small audio, which is also about listening. But before I play this, it's important that we understand the characters who are there in this. So, how many of you have heard of or do remember somebody called Condoleezza Rice? Yes, which is exactly like the foreign minister. She was actually Secretary of State. She was not foreign secretary, she was Secretary of State, which is like the Home Minister, right? But because of her abilities and whatever, she was very powerful and she virtually took over the Foreign Secretary's job and the Defense Secretary's job and everybody else's job, and she was like virtually the all in all for the government, right? She was very powerful. Under whose government? Which Bush? Yeah, not the second one, the first one. Okay, George W. Bush, not George W. Bush, the father, George Bush, about who we know a lot of things. So George Bush, we know Condoleezza Rice. Have you heard of Yasser Arafat? Palestinian? Yeah, he was the leader of the Palestinian Liberation Organization. And have you heard of Kofi Annan? Who was he? He was the UN Secretary General. Perfect. Now these are all four people around the same time, right? They all existed in the same time in life, in history. So this is a conversation that is happening between George Bush and Condoleezza Rice. And there is one more person involved in this, one more character, जिसके बारे में मैं आपको नहीं बता रहा हूँ, आप सुनिए. And I hope this plays.
Mr. President, Condoleezza Rice is here to see you.
Good, send her in.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. President.
Oh, Condoleezza, nice to see you. What's happening?
Well, Mr. President, I have the report here about the new leader in China.
Great, Condi, lay it on me.
Mr. President, who is the new leader of China?
Well, that's what I want to know.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, Mr. President.
Well, that's what I'm asking you, Condi. Who is the new leader of China?
Yes.
I mean the feller's name.
Who?
The guy in China.
Who?
The new leader of China.
Who?
The Chinaman.
Hugh is leading China, Mr. President.
What are you asking me for?
I'm telling you, Hugh is leading China.
Well, I'm asking you, Condi, who is leading China?
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Will you or will you not tell me the name of the new leader of China?
Yes, sir.
Yasser Arafat is in China? I thought he was in the Middle East.
That's correct, sir.
Then who's in China?
Yes, sir.
Yasser's in China?
No, sir.
Then who is?
Yes, sir.
Yasser?
No, sir.
Condi, you're starting to piss me off now, and it's not because you're black, neither. I need to know the name of the new leader of China, so I want you to get me the Secretary General of the United Nations on the phone.
Coffee, Annan?
No, thanks. And Condi, call me George. Stop with that Ebonics crap.
You want coffee?
No.
You don't want coffee?
No, but now you mention it, I could use a glass of milk. And then get me the UN.
Yes, sir.
Not Yasser, the guy at the United Nations.
Coffee.
Milk! Will you please make that call?
And call who?
Well, who's the guy at the UN?
No, who is the guy in China?
Will you stay out of China?
Yes, sir.
And stay out of the Middle East. Just get me the guy at the UN.
Coffee.
All right, with cream and 2 sugars. Now get on the phone.
Hello, Rice here.
Rice, good idea. And get a couple of egg rolls too, Condi. Maybe we should send some to the guy in China and the Middle East. Can you get Chinese food in the Middle East? I don't know.
Where was the problem? Okay, and who was the problem? Who was the problem, right? Yeah, but where was the listening not happening? Both sides? Okay, why are you saying both sides? Excellent. So, what could she have done differently? Okay, good. Full name. What else could she have done? Yes, she could have spelled it. What else could she have done? Yeah, just change the order of the sentence. So active voice ko passive voice. The name of the person in China is, right? Just added one word. Mr. Who is leading China. But all of it devolved not upon Bush, but upon Condoleezza Rice. she wasn't listening. I mean, we laugh about this and say, okay, so George Bush, after all, we know he's going to be like this, right? But the fact remains that it was Condoleezza Rice who was not listening, because she had a duty to perform, which is to give him a report on what happened in China. Her duty is not being done. Now, assume that this is not George Bush and it's going to be somebody else. It doesn't matter. The fact remains that the president is not going to be able to act upon any report given by Condoleezza Rice because the report has not been communicated. Listening was a problem with Condoleezza Rice more, in my opinion, than perhaps with George Bush. Right? George Bush was funny, but Condoleezza Rice was the problem. So what was her problem? Why was she not listening? Okay, okay, overconfidence, self-confidence, what else? What was preventing her from listening? Yes, but why was she not listening? She pushed information, he didn't listen. What stopped her from listening to the fact that he wasn't listening? Absolutely, right? Bang on. Where's my pen? Here. Sorry, which team? So, ego. I know it all. This is my product. I created it. इसका पेटेंट मैंने फाइल किया है. इसके इंसेप्शन से लेकर डिलीवरी तक मैं खड़ा था. मैंने मेरे हाथों से इंस्टॉल किया है 50 जगह में. तू कस्टमर, तेरे को क्या पता? And therefore, immediately, I don't physically close it. I've stopped myself because my ego prevents me from listening. The fact that I am the creator, the fact that I am the owner, or the fact that I have done this before, prevents me from not passing a judgment, and I become judgmental. I have this friend who was from the US, and he says it's very difficult to talk to Indians. Indians never listen, they are always preparing to answer. सुनने के पहले जवाब देना जरूरी है, और उसका सवाल खत्म नहीं हुआ कि मेरे पास जवाब है. So getting to that state of saying I need to suspend my ego, suspend judgment, and then stand up and say, please talk, I am listening. Preparing to listen by taking notes. Showing him that his problem is important for me. I have noted it down. Going back to that person and verifying, so sir, what you told me is, because again, it is important to verify because what you have heard may not be what he said. Asking questions. Questioning techniques के बारे में, did somebody do anything on questioning techniques with you guys? No? Okay, so essentially, again, there's a lot of material on the net and you can look at it, but questioning techniques, essentially when we start conversations, we start with what is called universal questions. Large. Global solution questions, right? How are you? Business कैसा चल रहा है? Etc. Universal questions. Then we come to what is called open-ended questions. Why? Why is a very, very important open-ended question. And then we narrow them down to funneling questions. How and what? And then we bring it down to those specific close-ended questions, which can only be answered in one way or the other. Some close-ended questions have only one answer. Only one answer. Abhishek, what is your date of birth? Only one answer. Right? तेरा नाम क्या है बसंती? Only one answer. Will I meet you tomorrow or day after? Close-ended questions. Only 2 answers. Do you want to go out for dinner together today? Yes or no? Close-ended questions. You bring that down to those close-ended questions, because until those close-ended questions are answered, you cannot arrive at finding a solution. Let me do a small exercise. Keep this in your pocket, don't open it. Any of you play cards? Okay, Manish ji. How many colors are there in a pack of cards? Everybody answers 4. The answer is not 4, sir. How many colors in a pack of cards? 2. Which are they? Which one do you like? Great. Let's play with red. Let's throw the black out. In a red pack of, in the red cards, how many shapes are there? Which are they? Diamonds, hearts and diamonds. Which ones do you like? Okay, let's play with the hearts. Throw the diamonds out. In the hearts, how many cards are there? Out of the 13 cards, which are the top 3 cards? हाँ? एक का? राजा कहाँ गया? Okay, एक का राजा रानी. खुद इतने इरेलेवेंट हो चुके हैं लाइफ में. ये पता नहीं आप लोगों को वो व्हाट्सएप का जोक मिला था कि नहीं, कि मेरी लड़की का नाम ट्विटर है, पूरी गांव उसके फॉलो करती है. मेरा लड़के का नाम फेसबुक है, घर का खबर बाहर देता है. मेरी बीवी का नाम गूगल है, सारे सवालों के जवाब है उसके पास. तो सर आपका नाम? मेरा नाम ऑर्कुट है, मैं तो इरेलेवेंट हूं. सो इक्का राजा रानी, राइट? शादीशुदा है सर? शादीशुदा है? हाँ कि ना? शादीशुदा है. ओके. इन तीनों में से सबसे पावरफुल कौन है? शादीशुदा आदमी बोल रहा है. बीवी को बोल देंगे सर. ओके. इक्का को यदि हटा दिया जाए फिर कौन सा पावरफुल रहा? और उसको भी हटा दिया जाए तो कौन सा ताश आपके हाथ में है? कौन सा रानी? पान की रानी नहीं, हार्ट्स की ना. ही चोज हार्ट्स. पान की रानी. आर यू श्योर? पान की रानी है ना आपके हाथ में? उसमें क्या लिखा हुआ है? अरे जादू दिखाया बच्चे लोग, ताली बजाओ. कैसे हुआ ये? Because I know the answer.
आपको वो आंसर मुझसे चाहिए था.
That's what. Correct. So, Abhishek Saab, you see, you cannot go away from this answer in whatever way you answer, because I am in control. For example, कितने कलर हैं? 2. कौन से हैं? रेड एंड ब्लैक, राइट? कौन सा पसंद है? उन्होंने कौन सा बोला था? अब कौन सा बोलेंगे? चलिए ब्लैक। तो एक काम कीजिए, ब्लैक आप रखिए, रेड से खेलते हैं। क्योंकि आंसर मुझे पता है। क्लोज एंडेड क्वेश्चनिंग मुझे तब करना चाहिए जब मुझे पता है उसको कहां ले जाना है। मुझे भी आंसर पता है। प्रॉब्लम यह होता है कि कस्टमर सर्विस के केस में, सैटिस्फैक्शन के केस में यह आंसर हम लोगों को पता नहीं होता है और हम कोशिश करते हैं उसको क्लोज एंडेड में बांध देने की, और वो बनता नहीं है, बंधना चाहता नहीं है, और बंध गया तो वो फ्रस्ट्रेटेड होकर बनता है। Customer satisfaction happens with open-ended questions, not with funneling questions, not with close-ended questions. It happens with universal questions. Tell me what's going right in your business. How is my product helping you to service your customer? Open-ended, universal questions and open-ended questions. You will start getting the answers. You move away from becoming a product seller to becoming a consultant. And as far as roti is concerned, I can give you a guarantee that the partner of Accenture earns more than you on a roti basis. मैं individual salary की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं return on time invested. The partner of Accenture maximizes his time because he does exactly this. So you maximize your time by asking questions, because the answer has to come from him. It is not your presupposed answer that will give you the solution. My job is to sell. His understanding of his own role, his clarity on understanding his role, and thereby focusing on that role by giving up other things for which he is taking a risk, because he is paying almost 2.5 crores to 3 crores per year as salary.